And Nancy, you mentioned the community. They are continuing to mourn. Many have found solace in service there, among them a chef with very close ties to Buffalo.
Food, music, and friendship. The city of Buffalo on Friday trying to return to normal following last week's hate-fueled shooting at a supermarket. There to help, Chef Darian Bryan. His pop-up restaurant selling meals at this public gathering. The funds going to help families of the victims.
Oh, these folks are hurting, so I'm like, you know what? Food is love, and food is what brings people together. And I'm so grateful that I could put a smile on these folks' face.
Bryan, originally from Jamaica, has become a Buffalo fixture. We introduced you to him on The Dish back in 2021.
You just don't get the food, you get the entire package,
right.
The swag, you know what I mean? You get
He's been running pop-up restaurants, a catering business, and worked as a personal chef. His clients include some of Buffalo's best-known faces, players on the Buffalo Bills. The team joined Bryan this week as he and an army of volunteers served thousands of meals at the site of the shooting. For many, that supermarket is the only one they can easily access.
That community is where you can find the most black people in Buffalo. That's where they're all at, and it's just one grocery store for them. So that's where they all go. And with that being closed now, there's no produce for them. There's no healthy options.
Saturday's attack hit close to home for Bryan. He frequently shops at the store and nearly brought his family there around the time of the shooting.
And I pretty much know everybody who worked there. My kids go to daycare down the street from my Tops too. So every morning when I drop them off at daycare, I just go to Tops to get the groceries for the day.
He's hoping to continue helping his neighbors and to find a more permanent solution to feeding people in a community he says is underserved.
I'm like, what can we do to help those folks to get out? You can't grow just stuck in one area, in one place. And for them to be worried about, if they can go to the grocery store. It blows my mind there's only one grocery store over there in the entire east side. These folks gotta travel miles to get food now because that Tops is closed. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, something gotta be done for these folks.
And that tragedy showing another problem there for this community. I do want to point out that Darian sold 1,000 meals yesterday, raised $20,000 for the victims and their families. And next week, he's going to continue to give out meals at the store to those who need them because that community is in so much need.
Good to see every single member of the Bills, Sabres, and the teams, the city's lacrosse team, the Bandits, show up to serve, and that continuing focus. You've heard so much talk this week about food deserts. What happens when there's no place to get good and fresh food? And that's the case now that this Tops is closed.
And that was a grocery store the community had to fight for to get in the first place.
That's right.
Food is love, though, as he says.